Hey guys, it's Andrew, the Director of Youth Ministries here at Central, and I just want to welcome you and say thanks for being willing to be a confirmation mentor. And we're so excited to have you as a part of the journey in the lives of these young people as they confirm in their faith in our church. We're so grateful for that, and we're grateful for you. So we wanted to go over a couple just quick things. We're just going to do a brief overview of Safe Sanctuaries and what that looks like digitally. And we'll also make sure that we send you all the policies and the paperwork and everything. So real quick, first things first is we're going to make sure all of you guys are background checked. That's a church policy. That's a conference policy. Anyone who works with our children or youth are background checked as a safety precaution. Obviously, you're here for a reason. People love you and trust you, and so we're just going to do that as a part of our policy. So we'll send you that in an email, and you can get that back to us, and we'll do that to make sure everybody is up to date. Secondly, the other thing we need to talk about are a part of what you're going to be doing is checking in with these kids once a week, and that could look differently at different times. And so there's something we talk about is no closed doors, and oftentimes people say the rule of three, never alone, however you want to frame that. So essentially, think of a Zoom room or a phone call as a literal room. If we were at the church and you were meeting with a kid and you met in a room, we would say, please don't close the door. Or it should have no closed windows. And there should always be two unrelated adults with that child at all times. So you're never alone with these kids. And the way that will work on the phone and on a Zoom call is making sure you coordinate with the parents times when they will be around alongside of those kids. That way they're in the same room, the same vicinity, whether you're on a Zoom call or a phone call. And it's always a good idea, too, to make sure somebody is probably around in your house as well. This is just a level of accountability and safety that we want to have, not just for our youth, but for you as well. So remember, no closed doors, making sure you coordinate with their parents. And that's key because one of the things one of our volunteers, our former mentors, talked was about building relationships with these kids' parents because that's an important part of confirmation. And so making sure you get to know them as well as coordinating with them, their schedules and all of that is really good. Now there's a few other things as well that are maybe kind of important to talk about, maybe not as much, like social media, for instance. Some of these kids may have Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, or some of these kids may not have it because they are pretty young. I mean, a sixth grader is still pretty young. But the reality is, if they do have social media, we ask that you not be the person to make the first ask. You're welcome to friend their parents and folks like that. But if a kid asks you, that's one thing, but do not ask them. And then communicating over that, again, make sure you remember the closed door, no alone thing. So we ask no private messages, things of that nature. And then finally, if you do decide to meet in a public space, we ask that you meet them there, that you do not drive them. Especially in this time of COVID, we do not want anyone to get in the same vehicle and close spaces, all that kind of stuff. So if you do want to meet for ice cream or coffee, or maybe drop by their house, again, if you drop by their house, coordinate with their parents, make sure they're there. Do not ever go to a kid's house when a parent is alone. That is a big no-no. Make sure you're always communicating with the parents at any point in time that you're wanting to communicate with their son or daughter. And so if you go to a public space, for instance, we ask that you meet them there, that their parents pick them up and drop them off, and that it is a public space, that there are people around. And again, when you do these things, if you do any in-person things, always follow those 3 W's. Wear a mask, wait 6 feet from each other, and wash your hands. No touching faces, all that, anyways, no hugs, no high fives in these moments. Wear, wait, and wash. Those are really important things to keep everyone safe and healthy. I'm going to check real quick to see if I missed anything. Oh, yes. One of the big things, right, is we always want kids to feel as if they trust you, to feel as if they have confidence in you. That's an important part of this. And it's really important to note that if they ever tell you that anything that is hurting themselves or others, we do have a responsibility to report. That is a lawful thing that we're responsible for. So if anything comes up that you feel as if is hurting them or others, please, please, please tell Ann Henderson Owens or me, Andrew Mockery, at the church. We'll take it from there. It's your responsibility to tell us, and then it's our responsibility to move it forward. So please, please report that to us, and we will make sure that we move it in the right direction. Again, no closed doors, always two unrelated adults. Coordinate with their parents. Don't drive them. Meet in a public space, if it's phone or Zoom, those are fine. You're going to check in once a week. And then if you feel like they're hurting themselves or others or someone's hurting them, always remember we have a lawful responsibility to report. Please be sure to let Ann or I know. We're glad you guys are here. If you have any questions, please contact me, contact Ann. It's really easy to get in touch with us, and we'll help you walk through it. Thanks, guys, and we'll see you soon.